Styrofoam. It's cheap and convenient, but it's bad for the environment. And it's annoying. Trinidad and Tobago wants to ban styrofoam by the year 2020. That's impossible. They can't do that. For one, styrofoam enjoys widespread use. It has for more than 50 years, particularly in the food industry. And consumers like you and me are probably going to hate the alternatives. In the new beverage containers, the ice melts faster, coffee cools quicker, plus the alternatives are more expensive. The price of corn soup, Chinese food and snow cone instantly goes up.
There is no way I am going to pay more than $25 for a small noodles, chicken and chow mein. And if they ban single-use plastics, how am I going to drink my sweet drink? In a calabash?
And what happens when I go to the grocery? Would I have to pay for plastic bags or dig through boxes to put my member select products, which ironically are packaged in styrofoam and plastics? In theory, a ban sounds great because of environmental dangers, but is it practical? I am not going to sit here and pretend to be an eco-warrior. I am not. When I'm leaving a table, I pick up my garbage and I put it in a bin. I do the same thing when I go to the river or to a beach. And I pat myself on my back and I say,
well done, big head. Well done.
But, and there's a big but, and I like big butts and I wouldn't lie, investigating the impact of styrofoam and single-use plastics on the environment, I learned a couple things that shocked and terrified me more than one of Trevor Sayers' videos. In 2016, 12,258 tons of styrofoam food and beverage containers were used in Trinidad and Tobago. That is enough styrofoam to fill over 1,225 garbage trucks. Styrofoam is made of polystyrene.
Am I pronouncing that right?
Styrofoam is made from a toxic petroleum-based plastic. It's bad for the environment. So are the raw materials. The manufacturing process is also bad for the environment. Under extreme temperatures, styrofoam breaks down and leaches into food.
Don't ever microwave your corn soup or Chinese food in styrofoam, you know. That bad for you.
Styrofoam is durable.
It don't rotten.
A styrofoam cup could last anywhere from 500 years to forever. In a recent study, styrofoam made up 5% of the solid waste found at landfills in the Caribbean. It's bad for the ocean, for rivers, for wildlife, humans, and climate change.
Climate change too?
Yeah, climate change. Imagine dumps and rivers littered with styrofoam. Overhead there's the Caribbean sun, fumes that mess with your lungs, and the ozone. Let's talk business and politics. In 2018, the government first announced a ban on styrofoam, and the ban was supposed to take effect in 2019, but the deadline got pushed back.
Again and again.
So in essence, styrofoam is like that toxic relationship you're trying to get out of, but you just can't. You keep promising yourself that, I got done next year.
Don't give me a chance, one more chance.
When it comes to banning styrofoam, Trinidad is lagging behind countries like Guyana, St. Vincent, and Hotel Rwanda. We're lagging behind Tobago, which is a little bit embarrassing because Trinidad and Tobago is one country. The proposed ban isn't an outright ban. The ban means local manufacturers must include additives that make their products biodegradable. Businessmen are saying that TNT isn't ready for the ban. One representative went as far as saying that fish don't eat styrofoam, they just eat plastic, which is a silly argument. Just so we're on the same page, when styrofoam breaks down into little pieces, fish mistake it for food. The fish eats it, the fish cannot digest it, the fish dies. This is called a clamshell box. In Trinidad, it costs about 48 cents to produce. One of the recommended alternatives will cost about $1.48. Apart from the price, there are arguments against the alternatives. There are claims that the bagasse alternatives, like styrofoam, contain chemicals linked to cancer. Alternatives often create more waste and generate more air and water pollution. Local companies that have tried to go green have actually returned to single-use plastics because alternatives like bagasse food containers result in soggy food.
And who wants to eat soggy food?
And bagasse. That word just sounds wrong. Some say the cost outweigh the benefits. And until a better, less costly alternative to plastic foam is created, recycling programs are a better option. What happens if, come 2020, there aren't any alternatives? What if manufacturers aren't ready? What if they are never ready? Do we continue to use styrofoam and single-use plastic products? Not necessarily. Trinis could stop buying items packaged in styrofoam. That could work.
For at least 2 weeks or 2 days.
Or people could walk around with their own cup and bowl. Can you imagine walking into a Chinese restaurant? Let me get a small chicken noodles and chow mein.
That's not a small bowl, that's a big bowl.
Mr. Chin, you're blind now. This is small.
No, die big box, like your mother box.
For the ban to work, everyone has to work together. The state, manufacturers, businesses, law enforcement, and consumers like you and me. Manufacturers need support from the state, businesses need incentives, and they need to know where they could source alternative products at competitive prices. It isn't as easy as announcing a ban and hoping for the best. There's no doubt that a styrofoam ban is going to present a number of inconveniences. But if that's the cost of a better Trinidad and Tobago, for me, for you, for our children, then I'm willing for it. And once we figure out how to get rid of styrofoam, we could work on getting rid of illegal guns. Red Wall News. It better than blues.